Guys, welcome back to a quick short here. We're here to talk about the Canadian women's national team are going to be playing Haiti at the end of this month, that May June FIFA window for the women. And we have JD from the We Max It channel today representing all the Maxits that he has here to talk a little bit about Haiti, some players that we can look out for, and players that I'm looking out for and watching out for in this. JD, how you doing today?
I am very much pumped up because I've been working from maybe around 9 o'clock or so. Yes, and once you gave me the news that yes, it's official and Haiti will be matching up against Canada. I've seen them play a few games. And I like the direction they're going in, but obviously they have not reached there as yet. So we want to dissect it. So individuals that wants to catch up or already catched up can get some information. So I'm excited to talk on 80.
Indeed, indeed. And again, guys, we are recording this 1 month before the window. So, yes, things may change. We hope no injuries happen. But what we want to do is talk about three players that we like. But overall, let's talk about where both teams are in this year. For Canada, it's a new coach. Casey Stoney has been here. She's had a few windows with this side. The last window, I caught a few people by surprise where they lost to Argentina, but then beat Argentina. But to me, for me personally, I'm looking at this year and saying, I want to learn as much as I can about the depth before we go into a competitive year. So it is possible that they might lose a game here because they're rotating the teams. You're seeing how players react to this type of competition, to adversity and such. So for me, I'm looking at this. If this was a tournament, every window I'm looking for about 3 points is my standard. If they're playing 2 games, they might lose a game. I would love 4. 4 would be acceptable. But 3 to 4 points every window is what I'm looking for because I want to learn more about the players for them. And we saw that with the heavy rotation. We saw that with young players coming in. I think it'll be a fascinating year, but that's what's going on with Canada in that sense. JD, what's going on with Haiti right now?
All right. So what I've watched, because obviously Canada is in a different department still, because they're ranked as the top 2 in CONCACAF, right? So even their lower tier, as in U20s, they're matriculating way better. And I think from not third down, because Mexico would have still considered in the big dogs realm, right? So I think Mexico's players have matriculated even better, similar level to Canada, but not as good as both of Canada and United States. So 80 now, they have to do a lot more things because 80's players definitely matriculated fast to youth 17s and 20s, but for some reason they do drop off. All right. And and I'm talking persons listening, I'm talking directly inside of the country, coming from the country. So what I think that they're trying to do now, they're trying to implement systems to bring in much more overseas based players right through the entire youth 17s, 20s, and national team, and I think it's helping, but it's a slow grind. They need these friendlies because that's how you're going to exercise what's really up. You can see them playing into competitions, but you have to wait and see what's up. So what I saw from 80 over the World Cups and previous other competitions, they always had some good central midfielder, central defense to fullbacks, because Ketna is very good. Bundle of energy, bundle of size, strong, ridiculously strong, Yes, so they do have those players already presets, but I would say that you still had some lacking deeper line sixes in their system. Forward line, one of the best players in the world and going for Ballon d'Or this year and maybe almost clear for the Ballon d'Or, but I wouldn't say that, because me and Africans had some fights earlier because Africans wanted to downplay my superstar, but I think she has proven herself now that his player is still a little bit behind. We are going to have that discussion for a different day. Don't worry, people. We are going to have it. We are going to have it. We need to have it, Yes, so they are getting stability in each areas, and even in the midfield areas, you're JD there doing her thing, but now you could see Amandine them coming in, and I think it's looking completely different. But they still don't know where to fully fit them, because I saw Amandine playing left back in one game, right back in one game. Sorry, right back in one game, and sometimes she will get back into midfield. But you still see that they are getting more players so they can try more things, and this is how important these games are. And I don't know what they are going to settle on, if it's a 3-4-3 system or a 4-2-3-1 system. So I'm watching, and this will be extremely exciting for me, because, as you know, they call me the Asian, but it is what it is.
You're a man of many passports, is what you are. A man of many passports. Look, so you mentioned some of those names, and I want to go with a list for people who may not be familiar with each side of players that they can look out for. We can start with some easy ones right off the bat. From there, I mean, I know the player that you think I don't like. I am on her. I am a truther for her. Listen, I just listen. I just like my players as well. So there's nothing wrong with that.
All right.
I think the thing I wish with those two players, I wish we could have actually seen them at the youth level compete against each other. Just to be, because we never got to see that. Melchi was a few years older, I believe. So, and she played youth as well.
And we got to be honest. Your player is special, special. But Melchi was scoring 20 goals in one game. So I understand.
Look forward to this. Yes.
Sophia Smith is you mean Sophia Smith?
Olivia Smith.
Olivia Smith. Even that day I was watching her. It was Liverpool against who again? I think it was either Manchester
it the Chelsea
City
game or the City game.
No, I think it was against Manchester City, because she been performing very well. Don't get me wrong. It's just because Dumane is on a different level. Like the consistency is just ridiculous. So people, I am not fighting against Olivia at all. I watched her over competitions, all right, and I really liked. I like her, not like I like her still, but it's only one. Dumane,
No, and that's the crazy thing with those two players. Dumane is 22, Olivia Smith is 20, right?
Yes.
And so you are, I think, for Canada, what Olivia Smith represents is a new wave of young players, and you're starting to see those young players starting to push into that established. I mean, one of the things with the matchup that's happening, we are celebrating saying goodbye to Desiree Scott, who's retiring from international. So it's an interesting way to look at the game, because you have a goodbye to another piece of the past who served the program well, but then you have the Olivia Smiths. You have young players playing in the youth league, but then also going abroad. They are starting to push. This is why I think 2025 will be very fascinating. But your first player, you said, is Melchi Dumerne, which to me is
no. My first player.
Okay.
It was because I saw the solution. I saw what the solution could be. So I know about Melchi Dumane. We know about Bathsheba. Borgela could come in at some time. JD. We know about all of those players.
Yes, we do.
I think those players will always be good against anybody. You understand me?
Yeah.
Where you think AD has problems now, and I have to look out. Right back, I saw Amandine playing there. So we have to look out for Amandine, but I would love to see her in midfield playing a deeper line role, one of the 6s or 8 position. Yes, I would want that. Chelsea Daman that came in, she looked solid. I think she had something different. So if a Borgela is not there, you could add her in. So I want to see something from her right there. And what's the final one? Because these are new players, guys. That's why I'm looking at them extensive to see what I could get from them. And then you have Amandine. Obviously, I've said Amandine is the first one, and then the second one I want here is where she is. 1 second, guys. 1 second. She did play in the first game right here. All right. All right, so we have yes, and then we have Ibrahim. So Anissa, Anissa, because it's one of my other players. Anissa
Mhm.
Ibrahim. She is a technical player as well, and this is what we've been asking since the World Cup. For 80, go in the direction of containing the football a little bit more,
Yeah.
because even if you don't retain so much possession, you can make your wing transition football more elite, because your controlling is much better. It was kind of a wing transition, but their control in the middle wasn't good enough. So when
Yeah.
they are breaking, they can't get the ball faster to anyone on the wing area. So Bachiba or Bourgela or Dumane, they can't get it to them. That's why they
Yeah.
had Dumane drop into a 10 or a 6 or a
Yep.
4 or a 0. She has to be doing too much.
No, it's
So
true. It's true. Yeah.
Ibrahim and Amandine comes in the team. It adds that extra technical ability, and Chelsea Daman can do her thing as well and comfortable
Yeah.
on the ball. I saw that little transition over the right hand side, the 1-2 between Amandine, so I could see why they drop her so low, because they were connecting and they're comfortable on the ball. So that's what I saw, and that's my 3 players. I have to say Anissa, Amandine, and Daman. The other big stars, we know about
You
them,
know
but
them.
those
Yeah.
are the 3 I would love to see come good, because if they do come good, I could say that they're pushing for top 3, the top 3 spot in, no, not the top 3 spot, but number 3 to 5, they are no, they can
That's
push
like, yeah.
Mexico for the 3rd spot as
Mhm.
well, because they have quality players.
Indeed, and that whole glut of teams in CONCACAF, right? The Mexicos, the Jamaicas, the Costa Ricas,
Costa Rica, yeah.
Haiti, right? That glut. We're waiting to see who's going to take the crown for the third. And I think we'll see as they develop, right? For Canada, I think for me, it's funny that we're celebrating Desiree Scott-Hart, the one of the last good defensive midfielders, even though Quinn is still there. But I
Mm-hmm.
think the midfield is going to be fascinating for me. And Emma Regan, who's playing in the Northern Super League for Toronto side right now, she's had 3 straight 90s in those games. She, to me, is a player who's come in and has solidified her spot there. I think right now she's a top 25 player for Canada. And which is interesting because you still have Simia Wuja, who's at Man United, who's injured. And I think once she gets back, it'll be a very fun competition. And Quinn has been playing well for Vancouver in the NSL as well. So the midfield to me is fascinating. I'm curious to see what happens there. I think Emma Regan is a player who has shown comfort over the ball. She's been poised in those moments. I want to see her against more competition so we can judge her more and look at it. So Emma Regan is my first player I'm looking at. The next one is Emma. I was about to say Amadine Pierre Louis. I'm like, no, that's your player. That's not mine.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
hey, but shout out to the Quebec. Shout out to Quebec and all those players that are there. But Marie Yasmin Alidou, she was playing at Benfica for a little bit, and now she's in the NWSL playing at Portland. Got a goal and is beginning a little bit more consistency in her minutes. I think for her, continuing to solidify her position, I'm very curious to see where she is. I don't think she has nothing to worry about, but I think she's a player who is new to some, but the more she's played, we're all asking the questions. Why did it take her so long to get into the program? Because she has just been very much consistent, been playing well, doing well. The third spot, I'm leaving it up to. I'm calling it the youth spot.
Yeah,
Everyone is a
yeah.
child here because they could be many things, right? I think we are looking at the youth players. I'm like, okay, could someone like a Kaylee Hunter, who's scored in the NSL, who's played U17, U20, is she a
Yeah.
player who gets a call up here and maybe we get a run with her? Is a player like Annabelle Chukwu, right? She's getting ready for another year there. She is going to have the U20s coming up, so she probably won't be available for that. So I would say Holly Ward, who had a good run in the last game against Argentina, played well. I think she could be an interesting name, but I think there's going to be a youth player that we don't see coming that's going to get called up here. She's been rotating. Casey Stoney has been rotating the rosters. And so we're going to see names. I'm almost certain we're going to see names that we don't normally see. And we're going to get to see them within this mix. And we'll see how they adapt and they go through. Haiti is going to be a side who, though they want to play a little bit more possession, they are at their core a transition team. And so,
Yes.
and getting caught up too far, is going to be a test for the fullbacks, right? Whether it's Ashley Lawrence and Jade Riviere, whether it's Gabby Carl, whether Bianca St. George's gets another run, whoever it is, if those fullbacks pinch too high, it's the same conversation we'd have with like a team like Zambia. Rachel and Barbara are going to punish you if they pinch too high. I think Dumornay, Judy, and Co. They are a side that they will punish you. They'll give you some chances for that.
They are looking for those things, you know.
Yeah,
it's just because they're trying to get the stability. So as soon as what I've seen these teams are trying to approach. I don't know if you look at what Japan does. Japan drop possession against the United States, Spain, but because they're so technical, they still have the window to execute those perfect pinch perfect passes and be as deadly. Remember, was it the Olympics or the World Cup? But they had 4 chances on Spain. It was the World Cup. 4 chances on Spain, and that game ended them scoring all 4 goals.
Yes.
So
was the World Cup,
So believe me, that's what they are doing it with more style because they're faster. So it could turn out into something devastating, and that's how we always said learning to possess the ball is always essential because it makes you can move in different direction. All right, and off turn comfortable, and that's what I've seen from a lot of these teams. And it only can be good for ladies football if these teams keep on rising, because the other teams, which are possession-based teams, struggle with the speed. You saw Brazil against Spain. Spain was still better than Brazil, but just because they are more technical with the speed, they just caused Spain problems in the Olympics the whole entire day. All right, they never let them settle, and Spain was wasteful on the day, so their goals never counted, but all of their goals counted. So what I saw, I love it. I love it. And I think more of the speedy teams should model off that. And then if they do get as talented in midfield, they should transition into more possession-based football over time.
No, agreed. And then you have the first game is going to be in Winnipeg. That's probably going to be the send-off for Desi Scott. The next game, that's going to be on artificial grass. Not that it will matter too much here. And then the game in Montreal is going to be at where CF Montreal plays. I'm guessing that second game is going to be probably a 50-50 or a 60-40 mix in terms of the fans, because Montreal has that. I mean, that diaspora is there. So I think the Haitian fans in Montreal will come out for that. I think that'll be a fun game to watch, let alone be at. But I'm looking forward to it. And again, like I said earlier, if I'm looking at this, I think Haiti can get a draw in this window, even a win. It would not surprise me because how Canada is approaching these games. Not to say that, we're not taking it seriously in that sense. They're trying to see new players and see how they react in those situations. So a window like Canada just had against Argentina, where they win one and then they aren't able to get it across the line, though they have chances. I think that's more than possible with a team that's offensively better than Argentina.
You have to include that the squad dropped drastically. Because what I'm looking at, I don't even think this is just maybe like 4 or 5 of your players.
Yeah,
and everyone else is just changed players. So if you drop that, it's kind of because Haiti is a better team than Argentina. In my opinion,
I think so.
Yes. So in my opinion, if a full strength Haiti team comes in with the Ibrahim Anisha comes in and they can play that quick transition with comfort, I think they can cause the stability in the middle for Canada, because over the years, Canada's middle, I know that a lot of people always talks about them not. I think that has been the best part of their game, the deeper sixes. They are blessed with the 60s. All right. For me, in my opinion, I can't see why people never saw it. And when I told Africans when they move to the 3 at the back, they are going to be devastating, and they turn up to win almost every damn game. So they are very good in midfield, man. So this is going to be very good. But I actually believe that they are going to change and make it a little bit stronger than what they did in this one. Even though they are looking for new things, they still want to see, because Haiti will test them more than what I think Argentina did.
Yeah, I think that it'll be a more open game with Haiti I'll be curious to see how well they sit back defensively. If Canada's going to continue with that possession and move more directly that way. But yeah, I think in
Hmm.
the transition, if this turns into an up and down game, Haiti is fine playing that game. Canada is as well. But I think those are the types of games where, okay, maybe you'll need a save from your keeper. You'll see rotation there as well. Just a quick note,
Yeah.
the CONCACAF women's U20s does start on the 28th of May, which means probably no Kaylee Hunter, no Annabelle Chukwu,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
likes.
yeah.
So young player aside, someone else, maybe it's a Holly Ward, maybe it's someone else, but I am very much curious to see what the lineup looks like. I think that June 3rd game against in Haiti and Montreal, I think that's going to be the game where the environment is live. So I'm looking forward to that. But guys, you let us
Okay,
know
okay.
what are players you're looking forward to see in those matchups. What are you
Yeah.
looking for both teams, however it is? Let us know in the comments below and we'll go from there. JD, thank you for being with us today. And as always, guys, I'm gonna stop talking right here.